So I just dropped off my kids. I waited to go live so we can get the brilliant of it. There. So we are focusing directly on the point in time when Malfoy Manor was the was the head of Voldemort's base, which we know kind of from the movies exactly when that is and what happened. So let's go look at not at that one, at this one. Special. Okay, we need to use a tonic for trace detection. We need to return 3 brilliant Death Eaters and 3 Oddity family foundables. So, wrong place. I did save plenty of tonics. There! We used one. And we have an oddity. Okay, you were right. It looks like they are completely oddities. The oddities, so Jen was right. And what they are, one's a Death Eater and one's this one. The Azkaban escapee. Which is really strange. So we have both oddity. They released a new set of oddities for this that are the very same as our brilliant event foundables. And so we have an Azkaban escapee, a Death Eater, and Fluffy is my guess is the other oddity. So one thing about playing for the brilliant events, you probably don't want to go where there's a flag, but you do want to go where you might find a lot of fountains. So I'm kind of trying to think of where I might go that might be. Let's grab this one. I bet this is yeah, this is, so we have another Azkaban escapee. But this one's one of the brilliant event ones again. I really should drop a Bruvius. I think I will. There for a minute when I saw that come up, I wondered if we had another. When I saw Constance come up, I wondered if we had another issue of, or another thing of what happened yesterday. So, for anyone who doesn't know, yesterday's was a walkthrough in how to purchase. Think you said it right as I dropped it. Okay, we have, that one's a Doxy. So, I'm also going to try and get to a place where we're going to have more foundables show up. I dropped my kids off to seminary and when I got there, the teacher wasn't there. And I was not, so they have release time to go to seminary. They have release time from high school. And the one walked over, and the other one, I picked her up to go take care of her dog and then dropped her off. But I was not going to just leave them there without the teacher there, because they had an incident at their school yesterday, and someone brought a gun and threatened to kill someone, which is very, very rare. Like, this is extremely unusual for our area. If Jen gets on and hears that, she will, I'm sure, vouch for that. It doesn't happen. And even just threats have been known to, at times, shut down multiple schools at once, or at least put them on high alert. But this case, the kid actually, had the gun with them, whatever else. They were able to quickly resolve it. As soon as the principal found out, she reported it to the police. The police came and arrested the kid off campus. So he had obviously left campus grounds, but they arrested him and talked to him and whatever, and things were resolved. But where that was yesterday, I was not about to leave the kids all there outside the classroom. Now, I will say, it looks like at least half the seminary class, if not half the school, did not come to school today, which doesn't surprise me. I went back and forth, but where my kids were feeling good, whatever else, and that they do miss class decently often because of their disease, I figured them missing was not a good idea. So, and we have werewolves. Let's see. But yeah, so I decided that they should be at school. Took them to school, but was not going to leave the school until there was an adult around. Yeah, okay, they're late teenagers. They're in high school, but actually even more so, that means I was not about to leave without an adult around. So that may sound really bad, but I don't care. Gonna pull over up here so I can go after this. I'm trying to head to our tabernacle because there's usually a bunch right around there, but keep seeing them in between. Now let's see. Tell Angel hello back. I totally get she's at work. If she wants, she can watch the replay. So, but yeah, major crime is, even just the threat around here, I know in Salt Lake, they get threats and you hear about them a few times a year. Ours is seriously like once every few years, if that, do you even get the threat? And so the fact that that not only was there a threat, there was a kid with a gun at school and threatening at the same time left me, I'm a little bit wary of that. And I think any parent understands that. So I didn't want to obviously just leave him and drive away and start streaming. I was like, nah, I think I will wait. Guess what, Jen? Okay, now we got an issue. I'm going to have to pull over up here and report that there is a horned serpent by the post office, because I don't think anyone around here is watching my stream to report it for me. And I don't think that was to my trace. I'm still parked here and stopped here maybe a little while. So I will find a place up here to pull over. Aha, right here. There. That way there's no issues. Okay, let's park here. This is a good area for right now. Anyway, so before I saw the horned serpent, as I was saying, it's very rare to get any major crime around here. It's sad. We just had things are increasing. We actually had a girl killed here this year, a little girl, by her uncle, which in and of itself is rare. And then this threat today and whatever, it was just like, I hope we calm down. Because this is actually the second threat at this school year already. We had one earlier this school year where there wasn't a direct threat made. Just they said something to their counselor or something. Didn't say who or what school or anything. So all the schools were on high alert for a little bit. And we are not used to this. So, but back to the Brilliant event. Oh, I'll go after this. I hadn't meant to click on it, but I'll go after it. Okay, I need 2 more brilliant Death Eaters. Now I see why everyone was saying save a lot of tonics for this event. Because I heard you're going to want a number of them, not just as many as it calls for. And my guess is for that reason, that it's going to, what all it's bringing in. Interestingly, I bet this is Fluffy. Because I have not seen, nope, it's a Death Eater. I have not seen an orange flame before, so that threw me. Really bad. There. Come on in here. So I feel better about doing stuff there. Fluffy is yellow. Okay. It is strange that we only have the one orange. These Azkaban escapees sure seem to like me. I'm glad our schools don't end up on lockdown that often. It is, we've had more lockdowns now than in the whole of my other 2 boys' school careers combined. And that's just been this year. That's why I'm saying this is crazy. In a way, that's good to know that, because if you've only gotten one, that means that the fact I haven't seen any isn't that unusual. What I do find, and what I'm wondering about, is the fact that I'm not finding Death Eaters of the brilliant events or otherwise either, really. That's what I'm saying. I'm too far away. Oh, because my person decided to drift. Totally get that. I've actually been... There's a reason I haven't got out and walked for a little while. And mine went crazy too, so... It started to feel better, but there for a while. Okay, I need to brew 4 potions. And now remember, the existimals are time reduced, so that's why I'm going and collecting this. Okay, let's go see what the trace for this is. Or what the thing is. Up, up, and around. And then I'm going to need to use healing potions, which for me means a fight in the fortress. So while we're here, I'm going to just use this right now and see what I get, in case I get another of those hair, and I can start my 4th one. You know, strange to be thinking I actually want the hair rather than anything else. Didn't get it, but oh well. Only time I use it, I will be honest, is in the fortress. I'm gonna check something. Actually, that's the wrong place. Yeah, it's worth it. There. I'm debating on if I'm going to go to the fortress now and go use them or wait for my husband. I think I may go use it. Just because if I wait for him, for him to be able to use his and me to use mine takes different levels. So I think I'm gonna head over to the fortress to fight in. So the fortress I'm headed to is right there, I believe. No, right there. That needs a doxy. Don't need him either. I'll take this though, I believe. And I'll wait to go in till my trace is not on. But hopefully my brew fuse still will be on long enough. There, catch that. Come closer to the fortress. Looks like I'm finishing up this one. Pretty quickly. See if, yep, I'm close enough. So, go after these two. I have 3 minutes on one and 51 seconds on the other. I wonder if I can make it in 3 minutes. I'll go after it. No, I can't make it in 2 minutes, so I'm gonna I'm gonna wait a little bit, go after what's here, and then I'll go and talk to you guys when I can drop another Burrifios, is when I will. Okay, I don't need that guy right now. So Jen, you were right. It is the I didn't want that. It is a dark Death Eater, and it's an Azkaban escapee is what they are. Yeah, Trace Tonic's pulling everything in. I wonder who this escapee is. Wrong thing. Yeah, I figured as much. Now it's 40, but yeah. You did. Like I said, I had said I could be wrong, but it looked like it was Newt, and had it been Newt, it would have made sense that it was, yeah. Yeah, I know you were talking about the centaur. Let's see. Oh, I wanted to make sure I actually got the rune from that. Yes, I did. Okay. Okay, Burrifios is gone. Yeah, according to Constance. Wait a minute. Nobody significant. Are we seeing... It'll be interesting to see who he ends up being. I will say that's sad. So they did say this is a multi-year storyline. So they already have the storyline figured out. But we're either looking at a dad or yeah, it'll be interesting to find out more about who this actually is. Sure not getting through my healing potions very fast. If this keeps up, I may end up going up to my hardest forest level. Yeah, I'm gonna end up going up to the hardest forest level because that's... And this is I will say, this is the first thing that really makes me wonder exactly how much JKR has her hands in this. Because this one feels so much like JKR's work. A little hint here, a little hint there. A planned storyline that you might get a little bit of here and there, and we aren't going to tell you for sure when. Let's see what else here. Come on, I'm not after the flag. Jen is having a heck of a time getting family foundables, or getting the oddities things out of fortresses. Let's see. So, JKR wrote Harry Potter, and she gave, so there are little hints throughout the book of stories of what's going to happen, everything else, but you get a teeny bit here, a teeny bit there, and there's a feel about it. And then on top of that, and this is what many people may not be aware of, she'd leave a little hint here and there on her Twitters or things like that. But it would be just a small snippet. And that you could quickly pass over, not realize, unless you were watching for them. And this it's got that feel to it, that if you look hard enough, eventually you'll find the key. But I'm not going to give it all to you right now. That's how it feels like JKR's work. Sounds good, Steph. Thanks for joining us. And having been a moderator on a site while the books were still being released, where we tried to figure out the answers. You know, a group, not every major fan, but there were a number of different sites, and this site was majorly trying to figure out the answers. She actually had a website at the time, and should release teeny hints on that too. And this it's feeling a little bit like the hints that were put out on that site. Or not a little bit. It is feeling like some of those hints is what we're getting. And so to me, just knowing those hints and knowing what I just read, it screams JKR's hand in it. I do know from everything I've heard, Pottermore's being revamped. This is not the first time it's been revamped. In fact, that was why the site I was a moderator of it was pretty famous, is JKR actually brought up the site on her website because the person in charge of that was over our chat site had actually managed to get access to her data files for the website, the behind the scenes files. Had managed to get access to, and before she'd released them. And so it very much, to me, just some of that stuff that should do there, that's part of it, is it feels like not just there was a little bit in the books in the books like that, but even more so, all the extraneous things should throw at us. That unless you were aware and keeping your eye out, you wouldn't know, but they ended up in the end to really help explain the books and stuff even more. You could do without them. You'd understand the books and whatever without them. But if you read enough, you would actually pick these up in advance. And it really added to the feel behind the books, to the camaraderie ship, etc. And as we tried to figure out her brain, which sounds funny hearing it, but it was pretty amazing. And this feels like it. Something else is going on here. There's little keys, and I need to sit down. I can tell I'm going to have to sit down and re-go over all the little hints that I've seen. Because this one basically indicated to me those hints may actually play a big portion. So I'm going to need to and I may start a page on our Discord group that actually goes through that. And maybe once I get it done, I will actually sit down, or well, not sit down, but actually do one of these lives going through what I found, so we can discuss it. If I'm correct, it's going to take more than one live to do it, but to figure it out, and or not just more than one live, it will be there will definitely be some discussion, and the full answers won't come out until they're ready to release them. But this makes it clear there appears to be a major storyline guiding it all. And it makes me wonder if that's why they're revamping Pottermore. Or JKR's website, I should say. It may not be is if what it has to do with this. The other thing is, and I will say this, knowing her, if I'm right that she's got her hand in this, there are going to be hints, tie-ins from this to the books and the movies, especially Fantastic Beasts, because we know she's written the script for Fantastic Beasts. So it's going to be finding the tie-ins to it. Looks like I'm gonna have to wait for Brett to finish, because I'm not gonna get enough to go in that chamber again. See how many I've used. I've used 3 and I need to use 2 more. Okay. See where my potions are at. Okay. Debating on if, I guess I should check the time. Nope. I'm gonna let you guys go because I gotta go pick up kids. But I will probably, knowing me, this is gonna nag at me until I sit down and do it. So I will be going through probably today, see what I can figure out, find all the tie-ins, whatever else that I can come up with quickly, so I may have more information for you guys tomorrow. Of at least questions, whatever else. And I may start in the Cache Valley Discord. In fact, I think I'm going to start a Discord. Another Discord. It's going to be Wizards Unite, and something along Wizards Unite, solve the issue, or what's the story, or something like that. Discussing the story behind it. Stuff like that. I've got to do some thinking. Obviously that would give me another Discord to have to keep track of. But then we could have people from all over do input and whatever, and not miss, because other people are going to have input and stuff, and yeah. And I know they kind of have something like that on the World Discord, but from what I've seen, it's more discussing where things can be found and caught and things like that, not discussing the actual story. And that's something that And let's just say that you do have access to, at least from so here's why I was made a moderator, and I'm going to be honest, and what I was told and what they would tell everyone. As we would be discussing plot points and different things like that of what happened, it was basically the guy in charge basically said that I was the end of discussion. If I said something about the story, whatever else, you did not go down that path again. If I said it couldn't happen, that was the end of discussion. managed to hack JKR's website. And his reasoning was that I could remember more of the story than anyone else. He said, and it was clear, people quickly realized that I had a lot of times when they would I would get messages, okay, I thought of this and I think this might be a path to go down to figure out if this is where she's leading us. Am I on the right path? And these were the types of private messages I was getting. Am I missing something, or am I on the right path in trying to figure things out? I have, for those books, and for books in general, kind of, not a perfect photographic memory, and I know I shouldn't be playing while going, but I gotta get to the kids, and then I'll stop. But not a perfect photographic memory, but a pretty good memory regarding them. And so many people, that ask me, and I'd point something out, and then I'd go find, and if I wasn't sure exactly where in the book, I could find it pretty quickly. It wasn't a problem for me to be able to find the reference. So I always backed up everything I said with the reference, because I would remember where it happened in the story. And so I'd just pull out my books, I had all the books, and I'd pull out my books, which were considered our reference books for it, and I'd search it out. Now, if it didn't happen in the books and it happened it was a quote from her, that very long, much of my time, I could usually remember, oh, that came in line with this, or whatever. So that's where I'm coming from. And that's why there is an indication. I'm not fact. Yeah, there are two places. There are two escapes from Azkaban that are talked about in the books, and I need to look deeper into those two escapes. Is going to be part of it, because there were only there were 3 escapes. One we know of, Sirius Black, really easy. Well, we know the names of 2 people. One we know is dead, and that's Sirius Black. If this is looking into what happened with Sirius Black, there's something there, but I don't think that's this prisoner. For one reason. The other part of what was said was that it's focusing on the time Voldemort made his base at Malfoy Manor. That narrows it down to one escape. One breakout from Azkaban. And she lists in her book a number of the escapees. I'm not sure that she lists them all. So what the book time that this is referencing is book 5 / book 6. Well, book 5 to book 7 is kind of when he was there. But Malfoy Manor actually was later, a little bit later. So possibly even book 6 to book 7. Yeah, it would be book 6 to book 7 is when he was there, because otherwise Voldemort was hiding out at other places. End of book 6 is when the breakout happens. And we know for sure by book 7, beginning of book, and in book 7, he's at Malfoy Manor. We do not know how long he's there, but we know he's there through Christmas. So, gives a time period to look at. We know the escape to try and narrow down the Azkaban escapee. At the end of book, they do not list who all actually there was, so we're gonna have to look, so I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit more. There's a couple places in book 4 and 5 I want to check into more depth that there's some hints about that may play into this. I have just hints, not a full I don't fully remember all the details, and that's why I would always go and look for the source. I'm gonna have to let you guys go, because I gotta get this. Hello.